Hi guys, this is Atlas here with your weekly reading for January 9th through the 15th. We have a full moon this week on Thursday the 12th, which is impacting the energies for the week quite a bit. I can feel it myself. It's showing up in the cards. I will be doing a full moon reading sometime either on Thursday or sometime before Thursday. And there's a card in the spread that we have here for today that's kind of like at the center of the full moon reading as well. So there are some energies from the full moon that I feel are having an impact on the energies for this week is the main point. Before I get into the reading, I just want to say thank you to all of my subscribers and people who have liked my videos or commented on the videos or even for just watching any of my videos. Thank you so much for all your support. I really appreciate it. Thank you to the people who have contacted me for readings or who have ordered readings for me. I'm really enjoying doing those readings for people. I'll leave the link to my website below. The website is just kind of, right now I don't have a lot of information up on it just because I haven't had a whole lot of time to work on the website, but I really want to get some more information up on there and start to offer some different readings other than the ones that I'm offering right now. Now, the readings that I am offering right now are the 2017 yearly readings. And there's a general reading and there's also a twin flame reading. And those are at a discounted price until the 14th of January, which is this week. That's the Saturday, right? So they'll be at the discounted price of $33 for the general reading and $44 for the twin flame reading. There are about 40 cards in the twin flame reading, so it's a lot of information about the energies that you have in the year ahead for a pretty low price for that many cards. Anyway, I'm also offering essence readings. If you guys want to know more about like what those readings are, you can check out my website. And I'm hoping to get after this week a few other varieties of readings up for you guys to take a look at if you would like, so that you can order them if you feel the need to or you feel called to. Okay, I think that's just about it for like the prologue here. The spreads that I have this week, I don't really know where they're coming from. I felt like I needed to do something slightly different this week, and I wasn't sure how that would manifest, and this is the way that it has happened, and I felt kind of like guided to do it this way. The full moon reading that I'm going to do for Thursday is also super interesting, the spread that I have laid out, and I feel like it kind of, it's very telling for the energies that we have at play. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get into the reading now. The way that I've set it up is I have a row for different aspects of the divine partner's life. And then we have like the energies that are for both the divine feminine and the divine masculine here. And then how those energies are being expressed separately on either side. So on this side, we have the divine masculine. And on this side, we have the divine feminine. She had a couple cards want to jump out when I just went to pull one. So here she had two cards come out, and over here she had two cards come out. And it's interesting because we see there are a lot of the same themes present throughout this. If you look over here at the divine masculine side, there that we have similar imagery, and the exact same imagery, the mirroring of the imagery is showing up over here for the divine feminine as well, and the exact same two cards as far as the way that they're placed in the spread. So I felt like that was very interesting. Also, the fact that we have a full moon this week, intuition, and cards that have really heavy moon energies are popping up pretty strongly. So yeah, I feel like I don't know, what I've been feeling personally from like the collective energies and within my own life, and kind of like what I'm getting from these cards, it feels like, because the full moon is in Cancer, right? So that's all about emotions and our intuition, and it's kind of a, not a moody energy, but a very, it kind of goes um, like in and out like the tides, right? Um, and I feel this kind of like, not scattered, because scattered makes it seem more hectic than it is. It feels kind of sluggish, like a sluggish hodgepodge of energies that are just like little parts here and there, like scattered all over the place. But it's like they're moving in slow motion, if that makes any sense. Um, Kind of like if you were to like have a montage um, in a movie, so like a bunch of like little clips that are like small little clips that like a director would like put together in a movie to show like a progression of things happening, or to show like a bunch of different locations or a bunch of different time periods, and then they take like a little fraction of it and they put it all together, um, like one after the other. It feels kind of like that, but it feels like it's not linear. Um, like one progressing after the next. It feels like they're all just they're all just here, like circling you at the same time, like popping up in slow motion, like all around you. That's kind of what the energies feel like. And I feel like this week is kind of trying to get us to, how should I say, like orient ourselves or get some kind of sense of direction from within the kind of like emotional chaos. And I don't want to say chaos because it doesn't even seem, it seems like if it's chaos that's like underwater. And so it's like moving slower. That probably makes no sense. But that's the best way that I can think to describe it. Anyway, the overall theme, sorry, it's taken me a while to get to the individual cards. The overall theme for the week, so the card that was at the bottom of the deck is the Strength card. And before I talk about that, I just want to say that like there are some big things happening this week, because when I drew the cards, I think there's 5 of them, 5 tarot cards, and 4 of the 5 are major arcana, and the other one is an ace. So big energies that we're working with this week. Anyway, the card at the bottom of the deck is the Strength card, and it is in reverse. So it shows this woman with a lion, right? What I'm getting for this week, with this being in reverse with the other cards that we have, and I feel like this is just an overarching sense of like self-doubt, or not feeling like you have a sense of direction, or just this underlying like nagging sense of doubting yourself and your intuition, because intuition is a big theme this week. And the need to make this card like upright, right? To make it to where we're trusting our intuition and we don't have self-doubt. So I feel like this is what this card is all about this week, is this theme of self-doubt on both sides, for both the divine feminine and the divine masculine. Okay, so at the top, this top row up here that you probably can't even hardly see, is like the overall energies for the week, like the overarching theme. So this is the kind of like underlying theme. This is the more visual theme, if that makes sense. It's the one that's not quite in the background. It's like one step forward, one step toward the foreground. This row here, the second row then, is the emotional cards, how each twin is feeling emotionally. Mentally, the mental cards are here. So where each twin is coming from an emotion, not an emotional, a mental standpoint. And then these are the action cards down here. And these 2 cards were also meant to be a part of this row, but as you can see, I was not able to fit them in the frame, so they are up here, which I like as well. I think that works out as well. Okay. So for the overall energies, we have the High Priestess for both the Divine Feminine and the Divine Masculine. The High Priestess is all about like this this powerful sense of like knowing and following your intuition. I also get the sense of like, I don't know, usually I don't get this quite so strongly with this card, but I have this feeling of like this powerful, I don't know, it's almost like she can just control anything around her. Like, you know, in movies where like some person has like some kind of superpower, or I don't know, the movie that's coming to my mind right now at this moment is Lucy, where she like some kind of drug explodes inside of her, and then like her brain, she starts to like access more parts of her brain, and then she's like able to control things around her. I get this she has like this commanding energy to her that people just kind of like have to do what she wants them to, and she's like in control not only of herself but like of her environment. And I get that energy from this card this week. I feel like there's a very powerful, intuitive, knowing, capable energy emanating from both the Divine Feminine and the Divine Masculine, and I feel like it can get kind of sporadic, or I don't want to say wreak havoc, but it can be misguided or channeled in a way that's not the most productive, we'll say it that way, if we don't take command of these energies. And both sides are taking command of them in a different way. And on the Divine Feminine side, part of her process of taking command of these energies is to actually let go of some control, which is counterintuitive and kind of contradictory, but it's kind of what I'm feeling right now. So the general like flavors or essences for both the Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine are a little bit different in the way that they are experiencing this intuitive, like subconscious, it's like a magnetic kind of thing, energetic, powerful. I feel like there's a lot of power to be had this week if you can use the energies in the right way. So for the Divine Masculine, it's showing up as the Diamond Dreamer card, and it's in reverse, but I'll turn it upright so that you can see it. And I feel like this card's kind of has like this misty quality, kind of like foggy. And the picture itself is probably going to be a little bit hard to see with all of the glare from my laptop, but hopefully you can see it. It says on here, material wealth and true prosperity. Now, I get this, there's this, within the energies that I'm feeling, there's this, it's like a very, like either or kind of thing between like spiritual energy and like 3D, like physical energy. And it feels like they're both present. Well, obviously they're both present at the same time. Duh. What do I mean by this? I mean, like, I think what I mean is that there needs to be like this conscious understanding of the way that everything that is spiritual has a physical form, which we all know that, right? But I get this sense this week that like the physical is more important, not more important than the spiritual. I'm not sure what I'm saying. I will come back to that thought if I can like gain some more clarity on what I'm trying to articulate. But in this card, it has like this genie, and he's like opening this lamp, and it has all of this prosperity down here, just like jewels and crystals and coins, and it's just a sense of like manifesting everything that you want, which is interesting because we also have the Magician card down here in the action space for both Divine Feminine and Divine Masculine, which is also about manifesting. And the cards have very similar energies. But I get the sense for the Divine Masculine that there's this focus, this heavy focus on the material aspect of life and of things right now. And I feel like it's been this way for a while, but it's almost like he's starting to become more aware of the spiritual aspect of things. And I get the sense that on the Divine Feminine side, she's becoming more aware of the physical aspect of things. Like they're starting to balance out a little bit. And I feel like this card is saying that the focus needs to shift a little bit for the Divine Masculine. I feel like for the Divine Masculine, he feels like it's felt like this for a while. I've had this feeling for a while that he feels like he has to manifest something or create something or gain some kind of physical abundance or wealth before he can move forward with this relationship or with union. I feel like he feels like there's this sense of he feels like he's a failure, and I say that because the failure card is also coming up, but I kind of already felt this way before this reading and this card came up. There's this sense that until he can prove to himself that he can achieve whatever like 3D physical thing it is that he's working toward right now, whether it's like financial wealth or abundance or creating something or establishing something in his life, he feels like he is failing. Because we have the failure card here. And this failure card corresponds to the emotional row. But I think I'm getting ahead of myself here. What I'm going to do so that I can just talk about one side and then the other side so that it's not so confusing for you, because I'm going to get confused, you're going to get confused if I like bounce back and forth. I'm just going to go down this row and say what the central energies are, and then I'll come over here and then I'll go to the Divine Feminine. Sorry if I'm all over the place. It's this. I mean, I think I'm kind of like this anyway, but I'm going to blame it a little bit on the full moon. For the emotional card then, so the overall was the High Priestess, this intuitive, powerful energy. The emotional card is the Ace of Cups, which is a fantastic card to have in the emotional spot when it's right side up. Because it's this sense of like overflowing emotional abundance in a way. It's like just like pure bliss and joy and like an abundance of love, just like pure love, like overflowing. But it's in reverse for this week. And I feel like it's like saying that on both sides, like this love is here, this feeling of love is here. It's all about getting above the things that hold you back from it, like on an energetic level, like stepping up the energetic ladder in a way. I've been getting this sense lately, like just like the past couple of weeks, that I can change the way that my body feels and the way that my emotions, like the emotions that I'm experiencing, and the way that my thoughts feel. Simply by like changing like the energy that I'm at. It's kind of a strange feeling because it feels like you are literally like stepping, like taking a small step up into like a slightly like different realm or reality in a way. And it's a really odd feeling to have. But just within like a matter of minutes or even sometimes within a matter of seconds, just changing a thought in my head, there's this like energetic quality of like stepping up and becoming like less dense. I don't know if anybody else has experienced that, but it's very strange, and very empowering also at the same time. So anyway, we have this Ace of Cups card, and it's all about like these like overwhelming feelings of, not overwhelming, but like just like completely joyous, overflowing feelings of like unconditional love. And the way that I'm reading it in reverse is that this feeling is there for us. It's just a matter of accessing it. And the things that are keeping us from accessing it are different on both sides. And for the divine masculine, I think it is, this is not the only thing, but I think a primary part of it is that there is this sense of failure. And I think it has to do with the material aspects of life. And I put this card right side up when it's supposed to be in reverse. And again, this is this, the overall energy is to feel like we have the abundance that we need, and for the divine masculine to realize that like he is already successful. He's already passed his failures. It's just a matter of stepping energetically above them, whether by changing his thoughts or focusing on his emotions, since this is in the emotional row. Okay, so then we have, for the mental space, we have the Hermit card. And this is in reverse. So here's the Hermit. And this card right side up is all about like this inner search, this inner journey, finding our inner light within ourselves, seeking isolation in a sense that it brings us growth, right? We can become more in tune with our spiritual nature by going inside and finding our light. Because it's in reverse, it's almost like the light within ourselves is hidden from us, and we need to find it through our thoughts. So mentally, the things that we have in our mind, like the things that we think over and over again in our head, that really are not very helpful to us, or they can be very negative or disempowering, or they can hold us back. Simply changing some of those things and becoming more aware of the things that the thoughts that do constantly like run in your head can be something that can help shift you, like what I was saying just a minute ago, like shift you to that next like energetic step up on that ladder. And that's part of what I've been feeling lately too. I've been going through this process of like really looking at the things that like the thoughts that I have continuously, or that are repetitive, or that have been there for a long time, some of the more subconscious things, and looking at them and starting to change them through either like affirmations or changing my mood, and then the mood changes my thoughts. For the divine masculine, he has with this mental card, I feel like for him it's playing out as like this sense of like loneliness and isolation at the mental level. So like emotionally, he has the sense of failure, and mentally there's this sense of feeling lonely and like cut off from everybody else, feeling like he's in the dark, like there's no light there for him. And we have the contract card that goes along with that. And it's interesting because I feel like, and I mean, it's playing, it's kind of like mirrored over here in the feminine side, but the woman who's depicted in this card is holding these scales and balancing them, and she's blindfolded. So I feel like this card kind of reads to me like for the masculine, he already has this internal balance on the inside, or he has the potential to be balanced. I feel like he's a lot closer than he realizes, and that the feminine even realizes that he is. And the action space as well down here, right? So we have the Magician, which is all about like manifesting, and it's also this card of power, right? It kind of echoes this power that I feel from the High Priestess up here, the Magician and the High Priestess, cards 1 and 2. The balancing act is also with the Magician. So not only mentally is the masculine trying to reach like this sense of balance internally, not only in his mind, but like he's trying to create balance. His actions are trying to generate some kind of balance. We have this balancing act card. And this has been popping up for me a lot lately in like collective readings and my own personal readings and in the readings that I've been doing for other people. And on this card, it has this woman. It's card number 11, by the way. And it has this woman who's kind of like looking over her shoulder. She's standing on a statue here, and she's looking over her shoulder at the string or the like this line of string that she's holding tight enough so that this boat, which is on like this little metal ring, can kind of like glide down this line or the string. And I get this sense that I don't know, there's this heavy sense because in all three of these cards, right, we have the Hermit who's not seeing the light within himself. We have this Contract card, which has a woman who's blindfolded. And then we have this Balancing Act card where this woman is looking over her shoulder as if she's like taking a peek, she's looking, but she's kind of afraid to see the outcome or to see what's actually there. So I get this definite sense that the masculine is like open to this intuition and this power that he has, and he's open to manifesting things. It's there for him, that power is, but he's kind of afraid to look at it. And it's because this power, if we're looking at the action side here with the magician and manifesting that balance and manifesting that power, it has a lot of responsibility that goes with it, which can be kind of daunting. We have this responsibility card here, and it corresponds to the solar plexus chakra. So again, it's about coming into the sense of like confidence, not having self-doubt like the strength card is suggesting here. And it has these two hands which are holding like a little cup of dirt, and there's a little plant like starting to grow from the hand. So like a seed has been planted and it's in the process of growth. And on the card it says self-discipline, empowerment, reliability, and fulfillment. So again, it's about the masculine trying to come to the sense of fulfillment, feeling like he isn't a failure in some way. And I feel like these are things that have been, they could be manifesting in different ways. They could be things that these failures are things that he feels they might have been instilled by like family or like passed down by family. They could be generated from himself. He could be feeling it from the feminine twin, because on her side we have the Judgment card as far as emotions go. So failure and judgment. It could be playing out differently for different individuals, but for some it does feel like, I don't know. For the feminine, her judgment could be directed toward herself. It could be directed toward others, or it could be directed toward the twin, or it could be about having to like balance her emotions enough to make some kind of decision, some kind of judgment or decision about her life, which would make sense given the other cards that we have on her side. But for the masculine, it's the sense of not ignoring the responsibility or the part that he has in this relationship anymore, right? Acknowledging the contract mentally that he's already felt like intuitively and on the soul level, acknowledging this contract. And I'm going to mess these cards up continually, I can tell already. And the other action card that I drew that won't fit down here, so I put it up here, echoes the responsibility card that we have here because it's the exact same imagery. We have this hand that's like holding this flower, which is the same as the hands here that are cupping this dirt, which has a flower starting to grow from it. And it almost looks like the kind of progression, right? So we have like the seed that's planted here, and the plant is still small, but as this card, which is supposed to be over here, like the progression of that would be that this plant has started to grow, and the hand is now holding the plant or the flower. And this card is be open to spiritual guidance. So it's the masculine balancing his emotions and balancing the insecurities that he has, or the self-doubts, or the sense of failure, balancing them enough so that he can start to shift his focus out of being completely in the material realm. And I feel like he's already on the spiritual path, and there's already a lot of spiritual aspects to him. But it feels like there's this shift where one foot is now planted on the aspects of the spiritual realm, and one foot is planted on the 3D, if that makes sense. Or there's the potential to find that kind of balance this week, if he works with those energies in the right way. On the back of this card, it says, ponder this question. How do you expect your prayers and guidance to come to you? Literally, in a vision? Are you someone who says that you're waiting for prayers to be answered because you want guidance that includes a safety net? Your goal to own up to your spiritual insecurities and lack of faith. So it's almost kind of it's owning up to your spiritual insecurities and lack of faith. So he has this intuitive understanding of things. It's just that he's cautious to look at the possibility of them manifesting into the 3D reality that he's so used to, because his intuitive knowledge and concept of the potential of what he sees doesn't gel with the reality that he knows. And so it's about getting those two, his reality, to come to a place where it can meet the potential of the ideal, if that makes any sense. So if we look at the progression of these cards going this way, going out from the Magician this way, we have this fully grown plant over here. That's the acceptance of the spiritual gifts. And the seed has been planted. He's holding the seed right now, but he's not looking at it. He's looking, if you can see on this card, she's looking this way, kind of tentatively. She's not looking at the plant and how it can grow. And so it's about being able to look at the feminine side, and the spiritual aspect of it, to gain the confidence to look at it fully, if that makes sense. Okay, then on the feminine side, for the overall energies of this intuitive power, the potential for it this week, we have the Web Weaver in reverse. So this is what it looks like right side up. It has this woman who is kind of weaving this web. I'm sorry, I was just looking at the imagery on here and trying to figure out what this is. It's like a tiny dragon or something down here. It's a weird looking thing. But anyway, on the card it says synchronicity, divine intelligence, and cause and effect. For this card, going along with the High Priestess, I feel like it's about the feminine using her intuition to generate this web, or to weave this web, or to help her create this image of what she has for her life and for her relationship, and allow her intuition to help her create it, to help guide her as she stitches or weaves the image that she has for her life. And allowing it to be her intuition that helps her to create it rather than the mind. Because I think the mind can really be it has the potential to get us trapped, right? And I feel like the whole point of this card is to kind of allow our intuition to step in and help us create the image of what we want, and to let go of the past things that we've had that are continually. If we think of it as like a like a garment of some kind or something, if there's like a pattern to the stitching, like an old pattern, it's going to be continued to, like, you're going to continue to stitch it in like this old pattern. But there's the possibility to let in like these new patterns in the web, if we allow our intuition to take us there. For the emotional card, because right, we have the Ace of Cups here for emotions. The thing that's kind of holding the feminine back from like this feeling of like this overwhelming feeling of unconditional love that's available is judgment, according to the cards. So on the masculine side, we have like the sense of failure, and on the feminine side, it's the sense of judgment. And on the card, it says, I understand that everyone has their own unique path and challenges. Okay, so this, I mean, I kind of see this going along with the web weaver, in the sense that the divine feminine has been like creating this map of how she sees the thing should go, or almost like taking control of the image that she has for the masculine's path as well, and like stitching this web of how she feels like it should go, kind of like a story. And there's this judgment that's at the root of it, this judgment that like I know I'm more in touch with my like spiritual self and I know what is best, which I feel is not only undermining the masculine, but it's undermining her as well. And I think this, I mean, this isn't there for everyone, obviously, but I do get the sense that it's there for a lot of us. And I'm realizing as I'm doing this reading, and it's something that I've already kind of realized, but I'm realizing that it's there for me as well. It's the sense of like judging things from like this perspective that we have these expectations of how they should go, and so we see them as how they actually should be, when everybody else has their own things, their own expectations, their own dreams, and like images of how they think things should turn out as well. So I feel like, again, what I was saying earlier, I feel like this judgment could be a judgment that she has actually toward the masculine, which he's picking up on. And it's also kind of helping to, she's not helping him in the sense that she's helping the feeling of failure to be more deeply ingrained, by mirroring it back to him. The judgment could also be toward herself as well, though. So this kind of judgment that we should be a certain person, or that we should believe these like certain things, or act a certain way, look a certain way. It's looking at these judgments that we have for ourselves and realizing that they're holding back some of our potential, some of the parts of ourselves that aren't being expressed because we have this judgment about who we should be. The judgment could also be toward just other people in general, looking at the way that you view others in your environment, and in your daily interactions, and seeing if there are some like underlying feelings of judgment toward them. And the last sense of judgment that I see is actually having to make a decision. So there's the potential that like this judgment card is coming up for you because you actually have a decision to make, because we have the make the decision card, or make a choice down here, card down here for the action space for the feminine. And I'll get to that in just a second. But in the mind space, right, we're going back to this hermit. So like the sense of loneliness. For the divine feminine, we have the goddess of the moon card, which is, again, all about the intuition. And it's the goddess of the moon, and we have a full moon this week. In this card, there's this woman who's kind of like, it looks like she's holding up the moon, or she's holding up the light of the moon above her head. And I can't tell. Hold on just a second. it kind of looks like her eyes are closed in this card. So going back to like the theme that I see for the Divine Masculine of him having like his eyes closed or him being turned away, from his like inner light or the spiritual knowing, from his intuition. It kind of feels like the Divine Feminine is like similarly not distracted, but she's also choosing not to look directly at the potential of the power that she has, if that makes any sense, or the potential of that intuition, because her eyes are closed, or at least they appear to be closed to me. And I get the sense that like if she would trust in her intuition and like open her eyes, if she could. Okay, here's how I'm feeling it. If she could open her eyes to her intuition and stop looking at things through the mind, she would see that there's a man holding a coin card here, like right in front of her. So if she could find the inner light inside of her, open up her eyes to the light that's here with this full moon, she would see directly in front of her the man holding a coin. And this is the card, interestingly enough, that came up in the full moon reading pretty powerfully. And I'll be putting that reading out later on. But I feel like there's this sense, and I mean, it's coming back to the masculine feeling like he needs to complete something in the physical or reach this certain level of abundance or accomplish something like in the 3D, like physically. Something that he can like show that he has done. If she could open her eyes to that intuition that she has, she would see that he has already accomplished that. And he's there right in front of her. It's just a matter of time before he presents her with whatever it is that he has felt that he needed to accomplish. If that makes any sense. If you want to know more about this, because I feel like I'm deliberately not getting as much information about these two cards, because it's kind of, it needs to come up in the full moon reading. So if you want to know more about this energy here, do look out for that later on in the week. But I do feel like this is a really important card. And I think it could be interpreted different ways for different people. So if there's something that like you, like this intuitive feeling that you're getting from this card, go with it. Okay, and then in the action space, we have with the manifesting of this power through the intuition up here at the top, we have the make a choice card for the feminine. And in this card, there's this path that's leading up to these kind of this path that splits. So this path splits, and then there are two different doorways that are there. And they have two very different looking landscapes. So this one over here has like some like pinks and has like this pinky purple aura, and this one over here is like this more like clear, natural looking light. And I feel like this is, well, I felt this myself lately. There's this sense that I've been feeling very strongly for the past couple of weeks that I need to get like very serious about what I'm doing. And like be very direct in changing things for myself. As far as the way that changing the way that I feel and the mindset that I'm in, changing my patterns and doing like this total overhaul of things, so that we can start to get on the path that we actually like want to go down, right? So I feel like this make a choice card kind of has to do with that, like with the feminine becoming very direct with her vision, the web that she wants to weave, allowing her intuition to play into that, getting rid of some of the judgments that she has, and then allowing this intuition in more so that she can make a very clear, intuitive decision about where it is that she wants to go, and she can make a choice. I do see that for a lot of you, you will have to make some kind of choice this week, whether that's a choice of like it's something that's just like one situation or one instance, like some kind of major choice, or a choice about how to reconstruct the way that your mind works or the patterns that you have, either emotionally or mentally. And just to reinforce the intuition point even further, for the chakra oracle, the chakra insight oracle, we had 2 cards come out. One of them, the first one, was the third eye chakra, which is again all about the intuition, and like opening up to the guidance that we have there for us if we can get out of our mind enough to see that guidance. And the other card was the family card. It has this nest with 2 eggs in it, and some like feathers around it. And it says on the card, belonging, community, culture, and tribe. It's also card number 2. So it kind of like goes along with relationships. Or it's also a card of balance. Number 2 is, which is kind of echoing the balance that needs to be reached on the masculine side. But together, I feel like this is, and again, going back to the web weaver card, as well as the making a choice card, I feel like this is the sense of the feminine needing to come to this, like this intuitive insight about what it is that she wants, about how she sees this image of what she wants as far as like if it's a family, or it could be like getting rid of some of the past like family issues or like patterns, familial patterns. I feel like this could be, yeah, it could definitely be that. So it's either, and it could be both. It's either you're needing to make this choice about how you want to visualize what you want for your future, or it's you need to like open up your intuitive guidance to see how it is that your family patterns and your family history have impacted your beliefs, and you're really not the person that you're not the person that you've been acting like you are necessarily. But there are patterns that you've inherited that you are in the process of shedding, of releasing. And then the advice card that we have that's also going along with actions. And again, it's mirroring this imagery that we have here. We have this woman holding an egg, like the man or like the masculine on the side was holding a plant and a flower. We have eggs over here. So this card says, appreciate everything. And on the back it says, on this day affirm, my life is perfect. Appreciate everything and everyone in your life without doubt or expectations. Your goal to learn that the way to set change in motion is to bless and feel grateful for even the most difficult parts of your life. So there's the sense that the feminine does need to start to look at all the different aspects of her life and stop judging them. See the perfection in them and be grateful for them, even if they're challenges, because the challenges bring us like insight and guidance and help us to understand things that we wouldn't have understood had we not gone through that challenge or faced that difficulty. So yeah, there's this definite sense that the feminine needs to definitely come into her intuition, come into her intuitive guidance, because we have the high priestess, the goddess of the moon, and the third eye chakra, and be able to make a clear decision about what she wants or who she has been, in order to kind of like allow her intuition to start to weave the image that she sees for herself. And again, the sense that we need to stop doubting ourselves for both sides and appreciate and be open to the guidance that is there. Stop turning away from it, looking away from it, or being afraid to look at it clearly. Okay. Hopefully that was clear for you guys. I think I rambled a bit and got a little bit all over the place, but with the spread, it was kind of hard not to. If you would like to see the full moon reading later on in the week so that you can get a little bit more clarity about this card that's coming up here, The Man Holding a Coin, watch for that video later on in the week. I will leave a link below for my website if you want to order a reading with me. And again, don't forget that the discounted readings are only lasting one more week until the 14th, this Saturday. I hope you have a great start to the week and that you utilize these energies that we have for us in order to help create some changes for yourself so that you can start to step forward toward what you want. All right, have a great week, guys. I'll talk to you later.